If you feel like you're screaming into the void when you post content on Facebook or Instagram, struggling to find a sustainable and scalable lead generation process that sticks, and you just want someone who's been there and done that to reveal their secrets, then it's critical that you register to save your spot ASAP. During this live masterclass, you'll get to steal the exact strategy I used to scale my income from $0 to $1 million in just 19 months without spending a fortune on ads or suffering from burnout. Simply check out the show notes of the podcast episode for the link to register for your free spot in the LinkedIn Lead Gen Masterclass. And don't worry, even if you miss a couple of days or you can't make it to all the training sessions, we'll deliver the replays directly into your inbox daily so you can watch them on your own time. All you have to do is make sure you sign up for the masterclass before registration ends. Hey. I hope you guys enjoy these, what I'm calling podcast shorts for my Burnout to All Out community. This is just a little peek behind the curtain of the coaching that goes on inside of my programs. We're bringing to you some of the best nuggets and coaching I'm giving within hot seats of all of our different programs, whether it's our LinkedIn Method Academy, our mini mastermind business basics, all the way up to our higher level mastermind. If you're hearing some of these questions and you're like, man, I wish I could get my burning question answered by Melissa. Hey, guess what? You could be featured on my podcast. If you've got a question that you want answered and you submit it to my team and we pick it, we will bring you here to the podcast for our podcast shorts and do a hot seat with you. Where can you submit your questions? Send them to teamburnouttooallout.co. We'll make sure we drop that in the show notes for our podcast shorts. And I hope that you guys find as much value in these shorts as our clients do inside the program. Need some effective tactical advice that actually helps you get results and makes a real difference in your life and business? You've come to the right place. If you're finding yourself here today, it means you're getting ready to gain serious traction in your business, rapidly multiply your income and impact, and you're ready to make it happen while living all out. Guys, I'm Melissa Hinault, your trustworthy corporate dropout turned six-figure business burnout turned happy and healthy CEO of a multi-million-dollar online business. And you're listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. On this show, we're serving up innovative growth strategies, simple implementation methods to put them into practice, and action-stimulating inspiration tailored specifically for the modern entrepreneur. Let's dive in. It goes to Mr. Eugene. How are you, friend?
I'm doing well.
Yay. We have questions around niching down. I love this question. So you said, this is how I position myself right now. I serve service-based entrepreneurs who either already have a high ticket offer or would like to create a high ticket offer. So I think that's smart. Exactly who your ideal audience is. It's in the high ticket offer space, whether it's already created or they're thinking about it. So from a price point, what their objectives, objections, challenges, opportunities are. Mm-hmm. And then you say, my process, organic content marketing through LinkedIn and YouTube. It can be Instagram and YouTube, Facebook and YouTube. Who has had success in your program? All of your clients are from underrepresented backgrounds. So Black, Latino entrepreneurs, specialties in software engineer, business consultant coach, brand strategist for emerging beauty brands. Okay, that's pretty broad. I feel like I'm not specific enough in my messaging. How can I either niche down or be more specific about who, how, and how fast I serve so I can attract the right people to me? Yeah. So as far as niching down and choosing a swim lane, I think that if you've nailed, and I think this is brilliant, you've nailed that your niche audience right now are the underrepresented entrepreneurs in the Black and Latino space. Are you proactively marketing to this and talking about their pain points in the industry?
It's a wonderful question. I think with my messaging, I'm more so beat around the bush. Like use the language that they would use because this is the community that I been since I relocated to the United States. So we use the same language. They recognize the language from Black churches, from local communities, from cookouts and stuff like that. But it's never, hey, like I know that sometimes like you have to work twice as hard if you want to grab like larger margin business.
So you've never said that directly, correct?
I never said that directly. So
why not?
I don't know. I think this is the conversation that I had with my client actually last week. I said, like, how can I speak to you? What can I say that attract you and clients like you? And like he said, like, you do what you're doing, but yes, you can be more specific. You can be a little bit more bold with your say the weird thing. If you think that it's a weird thing, say the weird thing because it is not weird. And sharing your experiences and sharing your passion and sharing your mission. This is not weird because you're not tokenizing people. This is your passion. This is your business mission. This is why I'm here. And I think I try to chase glimpse of like other avatars.
Can I give you an analogy, Eugene? Because we're all can fall victim of this. It's called it's like the little kid in the sandbox who wants all the toys in the sandbox. Like us as entrepreneurs, like we want them all. We want all the toys in the sandbox. Mark my words. I can't wait to circle back with you 6 months from now, a year from now. Double downing and owning the population that you serve is going to make your business explode. Right now, you're trying to like skirt around it for, I don't want to use the word fear, but I'm going to use it, fear of loss of opportunity outside of that demographic versus just talking to them, to their soul, talking directly to them because no one else is going to publicly call it out like you are. And then they jump out of their screen saying, hell yes, Eugene knows exactly what I'm struggling with. One of our previous clients, her niche audience was women of color of high net worth. That's a very narrow demographic. And she's crushing it because she knows exactly what their pain points are and she talks about it publicly. And so those women of color of high net worth are like jumping at working with her as an advisor with their finances. And she's crushing it because she's not trying to cater to everyone else. Another really great example of this, you guys know my photographer, Jody, and I think this will help you, Eugene, with the fear of missing out. Jody's main mission for the longest time in her business was she truly believed that there were not enough brand photographers for women of color. And she also knew that there was a huge gap in stock photos, good ones, for women of color. And so she went down in this rabbit hole over the past decade and initially really built a brand and a business around serving an underserved industry of women of color and entrepreneurship. It didn't stop someone like me from jumping in and being like, wow, you are wildly talented. And I want your services too. I know I'm not a woman of color, but I'm an entrepreneur. And so I give you that example because I don't want you to think that by serving this underserved area or this demographic is going to block your opportunity with others. You're just going to like triple the magnetization, if that could be a word, of the right audience to you through your messaging. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense because going back to your analogy with the kid at the sandbox, then I start throwing out the toys that like, well, like that toy sucks. That toy sucks. That's totally an aligned client. I don't want to even talk to that client. And like, well, like, why am I doing what basically everybody else is doing? Because this is not how I win the game. Because I know the experience and it's not just, oh, let me just be like cool and diverse because like this is something that I truly deeply care about. And even like talking about, hey, as a Black entrepreneur, as a Latino entrepreneur, you deserve to charge high prices because if not you, who else? Like how do you create your legacy? How do you create that example for other Black girls, Black boys who look like you,
Right.
that they can experience it. They can build businesses and lives by design.
Yes.
Like, I get fired up.
Yes. And when you get fired up, your content gets fired up. And when your content gets fired up, the people that you're attracting get fired up. And I think that you need to be telling your story more, because someone could initially be like, well, who's this white boy talking about this? Well, you happen to be an immigrant from Russia who's a minority. I think you're Jewish too.
No,
or did I make that up?
I thought I was Jewish, but then I did my test and it's like, nah, you're not that diverse.
Okay. Well, but where I'm going with this is I'm sure you have your own stories, many stories about being your own minority and being on your own journey. And the work that you've had to put forth is going to resonate with those that you're trying to attract just as much as sharing you knowing their pain.
Yes.
You just need to double down and own it.
I think this is what I'm missing. I don't consider myself too politically correct person, but I think that is societal. Oh, you have to be politically correct. You have to stay in your lane. You have to make yourself small. That keeps me from really extrapolating, because everything else, the messaging hits really well.
Totally.
Like, raise your prices. People slide into my DMs. So how do I raise my prices? When my message isn't correct. But if I direct to the right person, and I'm already doing that, but saying that, hey, your services is not $20 per hour. Stop that foolishness. Like, this is not $20 per hour. At least $2,500 if you need to borrow my belief. At least start there. So yeah, I think it's very good.
Yes, absolutely. And a couple of things I want you to think about, and this is for all of you. I think that sometimes also we don't want to niche down because we're afraid we'll lose the larger market. Okay. I want you to think about it the reverse way. By niching down, you gain mass momentum and then you expand your market. So some of you may not have been around long enough to know that when I first launched my LinkedIn coaching with my first flagship program, it was because I had grown a direct sales company using the power of LinkedIn, and it exploded. Who was my initial target market with my LinkedIn coaching? Does anybody know? It was super niche. It was 100% exclusively for people in direct sales. Okay. That was 5 years ago. And now we're a multi-million-dollar a year company with high-level business coaching, mid-level business coaching, and a lead gen masterclass teaching service-based entrepreneurs across an entire umbrella of entrepreneurship on how to generate leads. I never would have built the empire I have today if I'd started my marketing in the beginning by trying to sell my coaching to everyone. Make sense?
Yes. Thank you so much. And actually, like on my website, just before our coaching session, I put I'm on a mission, and I articulated like what is the mission of my business.
I love that.
So glad.
Well, the last thing I'll say on this too is, and again, don't feel like you're going to cut off clients. Another thing I'm really well known for, you guys could probably agree, is I'm pretty spicy feminist. I'm very much grew up in corporate where the men around me made a lot more money than me, even though I was doing just as much work. And I talk about it. And I'm a voice for that, especially on certain holidays or national days. And that doesn't mean I don't love working with men. It just means that it's part of my journey, and that there's women that are in corporate America who are really going to resonate with how pissed off I was and ready to exit and do my own thing. It doesn't mean the men don't relate. It just means I'm double downing and attracting even more the people who sat in my shoes. Same thing with kids. Many of you don't have kids here on the line, but a lot of you do. Some of you are here because you're like, she really talks about the journey of doing this while having children. That doesn't mean I'm blocking off the opportunity to coach and mentor people who don't have those children, but I speak to it publicly a lot. It's just part of who you are, Eugene, and part of your mission. All of you is welcome. Here's my passion.
Yes. And it's a part of my journey here in the United States, because it's the only community that treated me fairly like an equal human being. And it's powerful.
Yeah. Awesome. I love this. So good. Thanks, guys, so much for listening in on today's podcast episode. And I can't wait for you to see my upcoming guest in the next episode. You are going to love this keynote speaker. Hey, here's the deal. If you liked this, please subscribe and leave a review. And you want the latest online business growth strategies and exclusive LinkedIn pro tips sent straight to your phone? Text the word update to 704-318-2285. That is, text the word update to 704-318-2285. Can't wait to see you guys. Come find me over on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you like to hang. I cannot wait to hear how you are enjoying and applying what you're learning. You guys reach out to me over on social because I love hearing what's resonating with you. When you reach out to me and you send me those personal DMs, they really do impact the content I continue to bring forward to you. So again, come find me, Melissa_Hinault over on Instagram, Melissa Hinault over on LinkedIn and Facebook. Can't wait to see you guys over there.